Ever feel like life's just on a loop? You wake up to the same alarm, rush through the same routine, and dive headfirst into the grind, just to get caught up in the same cycle of deadlines, expectations, and pressure. It's like time slipping through your fingers, one repeat after another. But here's the twist. What if you could break that loop? What if there was a way to wake up with clarity, purpose, and strength? Imagine starting your day with focus instead of chaos, feeling grounded no matter what life throws your way. Sounds impossible? It's not. This isn't just some motivational fluff. We're about to dive deep into Stoic meditations that have withstood the test of time. Meditations that have helped emperors, warriors, and everyday people navigate life's storms. These meditations aren't just about surviving the chaos. They're about thriving in it. They'll teach you to master your emotions, control your thoughts, and face every challenge with confidence and poise. Let's face it, life isn't slowing down. The world won't pause just because you need a breather. But here's the real power of Stoicism. It teaches us that we can't always control what happens to us, but we can control how we react to it. And trust me, that's everything. In the next few minutes, you'll learn how to rise above the noise, how to stay calm in the face of pressure, and how to create the inner strength you need to stay centered no matter how chaotic life gets. Imagine starting your day with a sense of purpose instead of dread. Picture yourself handling every challenge with a calm mind, never letting stress dictate your actions. How? Through the Stoic principles that have shaped the lives of some of the greatest minds in history. By the end of this video, you won't just be thinking about your day ahead. You'll be embracing it with a renewed sense of power. This isn't just about meditation, it's about transforming the way you think, the way you approach each day, and ultimately, the way you live. It's about becoming someone who doesn't just endure life, but someone who thrives in it, who moves through each moment with intention and strength, ready to step out of the endless cycle and into a life full of purpose and clarity. Then stick with me, we're just getting started. It might sound grim, but the first meditation is a powerful reminder of the fleeting nature of life. Every morning, you wake up, but do you really live? How many times have you dragged yourself out of bed, only to feel like you're just going through the motions, mindlessly following the same routine, over and over? It's easy to forget that each new day is a gift. We get caught up in the noise, the rush, the deadlines, the endless to-do lists, and lose sight of what really matters. But Stoicism teaches us that we should live with the awareness that we could die at any moment. Now, this isn't meant to paralyze you with fear or anxiety. Far from it. It's actually a tool for liberation. When you accept the fragility of life, it doesn't make you anxious. It gives you the freedom to live with more purpose, to live with intention, because here's the truth. We don't know how many mornings we have left. We don't know when the clock will run out. So, why waste time procrastinating, putting off what truly matters? Why wait for that perfect moment when the only moment we have is right now? Imagine this. If today were your last day, how would you spend it? Would you waste it scrolling through your phone, buried in things that don't matter? Or would you finally pick up the phone and call that friend you've been meaning to reconnect with? Would you spend the day working on things that drain you? Or would you spend it doing what truly lights you up? Who would you want to see? What would you want to say? The simple truth of life's impermanence can completely shift your perspective. This realization forces us to stop hiding behind the excuses we tell ourselves. It helps us stop procrastinating and start prioritizing what truly matters. Every moment becomes precious when we understand that life is fleeting. So many of us live like we have all the time in the world, like the future is guaranteed, but in reality, we only have now, and the more we accept the possibility of death, the more we can fully embrace the life we have. We start to see our days as opportunities, not obligations. Every second becomes a choice. What do we want to create today? What do we want to leave behind? This is the key to transforming our lives. If we live each day as if it might be our last, we stop waiting for the right time. The right time is always now. It's the only time we have. And when we embrace this mindset, we start living with more clarity, more urgency, and more joy. No more wasting time on things that don't matter. No more waiting for tomorrow. The life we have is right in front of us. And when we live with the understanding that each moment is a gift, we start to cherish the small things, the people who truly matter, and the pursuits that give our lives meaning. This meditation isn't just about thinking about death. It's about understanding life in its rawest form. And once you do, you'll find that you don't want to waste a single day. It's so easy to feel like we're missing out. We scroll through our feeds, watching people travel the world, buy new cars, get promoted, and achieve things that seem so far out of reach. And in those moments, we start to wonder, why does my life feel incomplete? Why does it feel like everyone else is living the dream while I'm stuck here, just going through the motions? But here's where Stoicism offers a game-changing perspective. Instead of looking outward, instead of measuring our worth against other people's accomplishments, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we already have. Look around you right now. What do you see? The fact that you woke up today, that you can see the world around you, hear the sounds, and feel the sensations in your body. These are all gifts. So many of us take these basic, everyday experiences for granted. We're so caught up in the chase for more. We forget that what we have right now is already abundant. And here's the kicker. Gratitude isn't some feel-good exercise you do once a week when you're feeling down. It's about acknowledging, in every moment, that even on your worst days, you have more than you think. I've personally experienced the power of this realization. There have been countless times when I found myself bogged down, comparing my life to others, feeling like something was missing. But when I started to really practice gratitude, not just on the surface, but deep down, everything shifted. It wasn't the big milestones that made the difference, it was the small, everyday things, the breath in my lungs, the roof over my head, the people I love, the fact that I was still here, alive, experiencing this moment. When was the last time you paused to appreciate the simple things? The moments we overlook in our daily hustle, like the warmth of the sun on your face, the taste of your morning coffee, or the smile of a friend or family member. These are the things that make life truly meaningful, not the flashy cars or the Instagram-worthy vacations. I've come to realize that the pursuit of more often blinds us to the richness of what's already right in front of us. Gratitude is powerful because it resets your mindset. When you practice it consistently, you start to shift your focus away from what you don't have, and you start to recognize the wealth in your life, no matter how small it may seem at first. It gives you a deeper sense of fulfillment, one that isn't dependent on external achievements or comparisons. Gratitude grounds you in the present, helping you start your day with purpose and clarity. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment to feel fulfilled because, in reality, you already have everything you need to be content. I'm telling you, this shift in perspective isn't just theoretical, it's life-changing. It's the key to feeling fulfilled right now. So, today, right now, take a moment to pause and appreciate what you have. You might just realize that everything you need to feel complete is already here. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to fall into the trap of accumulating more things, more responsibilities, more distractions. We're constantly striving for the next big thing, whether it's a new gadget, a promotion, or just the latest trend. But the truth is, this constant chase for more only leads to one thing: overwhelm. We think we're moving forward, but in reality, we're just adding weight to our already heavy lives. This is where Stoicism offers us a powerful antidote. True freedom comes from simplicity. The more we clutter our lives with unnecessary stuff, the less we can focus on what truly matters. I've seen it in my own life. The more I accumulated, the more I found myself drowning in a sea of distractions, from the constant ping of notifications to the endless to-do lists that never seemed to end. I remember one point where I was juggling too many responsibilities, all while trying to keep up with everyone else's expectations. I thought I needed it all. The more I had, the more successful I would be, right? But I was wrong. All that extra stuff only clouded my mind, leaving me feeling stuck and unfulfilled. Think about your mind as a cluttered desk. The more you pile on, news, social media, endless to-dos, the harder it becomes to think clearly. You can't focus. You can't find peace, and worst of all, you can't really connect with what's important. It's the same with our lives. We're so overwhelmed with the noise that we forget to listen to the silence, the stillness that brings clarity. We keep filling our mental space with everything that doesn't matter, and then wonder why we feel lost, disconnected, and constantly stressed. But here's the breakthrough. Simplicity isn't just about minimalism. It's not about getting rid of everything you own and living in an empty space. It's about being intentional with what you keep, both in your environment and in your mind. Simplicity is about focusing on what's essential, what truly matters to you. It's about making room for the things that bring you joy, peace, and fulfillment, and letting go of the rest. When you start to clear away the noise, whether it's the clutter in your physical space or the mental clutter that weighs you down, you make space for peace. And this peace isn't just an abstract idea, it's a way of life. Simplicity brings clarity and freedom to your day, allowing you to focus on the things that really matter. You can spend time with loved ones without feeling guilty. You can focus on your work without distraction, and you can finally enjoy the moments that make life worth living. I've experienced this shift myself, and I can't emphasize enough how liberating it feels. It's not about doing less for the sake of it. It's about doing more of what truly matters. It's about cutting out the noise so you can hear your own thoughts, so you can live with intention, not obligation. Simplicity gives you back your life, your time, and your energy, and that, my friend, is the ultimate freedom. So, take a step back, declutter your mind and your space, and watch as the world around you begins to make sense again. The world can feel overwhelming. Every day brings a barrage of things beyond our control, traffic that never moves, other people's judgments, the weather turning against your plans. It's easy to feel like a victim of circumstances, like you're just riding the waves without ever getting to steer the ship. But here's the truth Stoicism teaches us. The power lies in focusing on what we can control. You may not be able to change the situation, but you can always choose your response. That's where the real freedom comes from. I've been there myself, feeling like I had no control over the chaos around me. I'd let the smallest things ruin my day. A rude comment, an unexpected setback. These things would take over my emotions, making me feel powerless. But when I started applying Stoic principles, everything changed. The key wasn't in controlling the world around me. It was in controlling myself. The essence of freedom, I realized, isn't in trying to bend the world to your will. It's in understanding that you control your emotions, actions, and reactions. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how much we plan, things will go wrong, people will disappoint us, situations will unfold in ways we never imagined. But the real question is, how will we respond? Will we let anger and frustration take over? Or will we step back and choose a more thoughtful, intentional reaction? The answer lies in that pause, that moment where you ask yourself, is there anything I can control about this situation? If the answer is no, then why waste your energy on it? Let it go. This might sound too simple, but in reality, it's one of the most powerful tools I've found. Every time something frustrating happens, I remind myself, I can't control the situation, but I can control how I respond to it, and that makes all the difference. When you stop trying to fight against the inevitable, you free yourself from the grip of stress and frustration. You begin to see life as a series of challenges, not as roadblocks. Every curveball life throws at you becomes an opportunity to practice patience, calm, and resilience. Think about the times you've reacted impulsively, whether it was an angry outburst or a rush to solve a problem that wasn't yours to fix. I've been there too, but now, I pause, I take a breath and ask, is this in my control? Most of the time, The answer is no, and that's liberating. It's freeing to know that we don't have to carry the weight of everything that happens in our lives. We don't have to internalize the anger, the frustration, or the fear. All we need to do is control how we respond. That's where true power lies. This simple practice doesn't just help you stay grounded, it helps you stay focused. No matter what life throws at you, it allows you to keep your peace in the middle of chaos, to maintain your clarity when things feel overwhelming. Life doesn't have to dictate your mood or your actions. You can choose how you show up in every situation, and that is the ultimate freedom. So, the next time life throws a curveball your way, pause, breathe, and remember, you control your response, and that's enough. How much of your day is spent worrying about what others think of you? It's an easy trap to fall into, especially now, when we're constantly bombarded by other people's opinions. Social media, casual conversations, and even simple interactions in the real world can leave us second-guessing ourselves, trying to fit into molds that were never made for us. But here's the truth Stoicism offers. The only opinion that truly matters is your own. We've all been there, haven't we? A comment here, a look there, and suddenly our confidence takes a hit. We start to doubt ourselves, question our decisions, and mold ourselves into what we think others want to see. But let me ask you this. How much of that worry is even real? People's opinions are like the weather. They change with the wind. One moment, someone might criticize you, and the next, they've forgotten all about it. So why let their fleeting judgments dictate your mood, your actions, and your life? The truth is, most of the time, people are so focused on their own lives that they're hardly thinking about yours. We carry the weight of others' perceptions as if it's the truth. But it's just a reflection of their own thoughts, not ours. I'll be honest. I've spent years of my life trying to please others, afraid of disappointing anyone or looking foolish. But what I've realized is that this constant need for validation doesn't bring peace. It just breeds insecurity. I would waste so much energy trying to fit in, always looking for approval, but it never filled the void. No matter how much I tried to appease others, there was always someone else to please, and I was left feeling empty. It wasn't until I started practicing Stoic principles that I truly understood the power of self-acceptance. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, and the opinions of others are not within our control. What is within our control is how we respond to those opinions. Instead of trying to mold ourselves to fit others' expectations, we can choose to stay true to our own values. We can choose to walk our own path, regardless of who's watching. This practice isn't about ignoring feedback or becoming insensitive. It's about realizing that our worth isn't dependent on others' fleeting judgments. The more I embraced this mindset, the more I found freedom in authenticity. I no longer worried about fitting into boxes that weren't mine to begin with. Instead of trying to please everyone, I focused on pleasing myself, living according to my own principles, values, and desires. And you know what? It felt liberating, no longer at the mercy of others' perceptions. I could make decisions based on what felt right for me, not based on what I thought others expected of me. The more I practiced this, the more I realized that the only opinion that truly matters is the one I hold of myself. That's the key to true freedom, embracing who you are without the constant weight of external validation. When you live authentically, you stop seeking approval, and instead, you start living with confidence in your own choices. You stop letting the winds of judgment sway you. You become the steady anchor in your own life. And that's where the power lies. So, next time you find yourself worrying about what others think, take a step back and ask yourself, is this someone I respect? Does their opinion align with my values? If the answer is no, then let it go. Walk your own path, and live your life authentically. Because in the end, it's your opinion that will define your happiness, not anyone else's. Life will inevitably throw annoyances your way, traffic jams that make you late, difficult people who test your patience, frustrating situations that seem out of your control. We've all been there. The natural impulse in these moments is to react, to get angry, to vent, or to let the frustration boil over. It feels almost impossible to ignore it, right? But Stoicism teaches us a different approach. It tells us that not every situation requires a response, and sometimes, the most powerful choice you can make is to do absolutely nothing. Let's be honest for a second. How many times have you let someone's rude comment ruin your mood for the day? Or how often have you let a minor inconvenience, like being stuck in traffic, affect the way you interact with everyone around you? I've been guilty of it too. It's easy to feel like you need to react to every little thing that happens. But what if I told you that the moment you choose not to react, you're actually gaining control over your emotions? Think about it. Instead of letting external circumstances control how you feel, you get to decide how you show up in that moment. This is the essence of taking back your power. You're no longer at the mercy of every little annoyance that comes your way. When you choose not to react, you're sending a message to yourself and to the world. I will not let this situation disturb my peace. Whether it's a snide remark, an unexpected delay, or an argument, practicing non-reaction becomes a shield that protects your inner calm. The beauty of this practice is that it doesn't require any grand gestures. It's simply about mastering your response, or, more accurately, your lack of response. This doesn't mean you're being passive or allowing people to walk all over you. It means you're prioritizing your peace and clarity over giving in to the chaos of the world around you. I'll admit, when I first tried this, it wasn't easy. My initial instinct was always to fight back, to correct, to argue. But once I began practicing non-reaction, I felt an immense shift. I no longer felt like I was constantly battling the world. Instead of letting someone's bad mood or an unfortunate circumstance determine my emotional state, I felt an underlying sense of control. My peace wasn't negotiable, and the best part, when you stop reacting, you actually begin to see things more clearly. You're not clouded by anger or frustration. You can step back and assess the situation with a clear mind. You may even realize that the things that once seemed so urgent or aggravating weren't worth your emotional energy in the first place. Mastering non-reaction doesn't just help you in stressful moments. It transforms the way you experience life. It's liberating to realize that you don't have to engage with every negative interaction, that you don't have to fight every battle. When you stop letting external circumstances dictate your inner world, you reclaim your sense of peace, and with it, you reclaim your power. How often do you catch yourself thinking about the future or dwelling on the past? We've all done it. It's natural to get caught up in what's coming next or replay moments that have already passed. Maybe you're thinking about the tasks ahead, worrying about whether you'll get everything done, or reflecting on mistakes you made yesterday, wondering what you could have done differently. But here's the truth that Stoicism teaches us: none of that matters. The past is gone, the future is uncertain, and the only thing we truly have is now, the present moment. When I first started to dive into Stoic philosophy, this was one of the hardest lessons for me to grasp. I was always thinking about the next big thing, what was coming around the corner, what I needed to prepare for, what I had missed. It was exhausting. I thought that if I just worried enough, I could somehow control the future. But over time, I realized how much energy I was wasting. The more I focused on what hadn't happened yet or what was already behind me, the less I was truly living in the moment. I was living in my head, not in the world around me. The more I embraced the idea of being present, the more I started to notice how much I was missing out on. I'd be eating breakfast, but my mind would already be racing to the next task. I'd be having a conversation with a friend, but instead of truly listening, I'd be thinking about what I was going to say next. Walking down the street, I would be so caught up in my thoughts that I'd miss the beauty of the world around me, the sound of the wind, the warmth of the sun, the simple joy of just being. I was missing life as it happened, and I bet you've experienced this too, where you look back at a moment and realize you were so distracted, so lost in your head, that you didn't truly experience it. When you focus on the present moment, you free yourself from the constant worrying and overthinking that often hold you back. You stop giving your mental energy to things that you have no control over, things that don't even exist right now. Instead, you invest your attention in the here and now, the one thing that is always within your reach. Whether you're eating breakfast, having a conversation, or walking down the street, if you can be fully present in those moments, you'll begin to truly experience life as it unfolds. You'll start to see the world in a new light. You'll notice the little things, the taste of your food, the warmth of someone's smile, the simple beauty of an ordinary day. These are the moments that make up life, and they're the ones we often overlook. This practice has given me a new sense of intention in everything I do. I've stopped worrying so much about what's to come or what's already behind me. I've learned that life happens now, not in some distant future or in a memory. And when you embrace that, everything changes. You live more fully, more connected to the world around you, and more grounded in who you are. So the next time you catch yourself worrying about what might happen or regretting what already has, remind yourself, the only moment that matters is the one you're in right now. And that, my friend, is where the magic of life truly happens. Life is full of challenges, big and small, some expected, others that blindside us when we least expect it. It's easy to fall into the trap of wishing for life to be smooth, to wish away the obstacles that seem to get in our way. But Stoicism teaches us that it's not the challenges we face that define us, it's how we respond to them. Instead of trying to avoid discomfort or wishing for an easier path, Stoicism encourages us to embrace it. Each challenge is an opportunity to build mental strength and resilience. And trust me, once you start seeing life's obstacles through this lens, everything changes. I know firsthand how difficult it can be to view challenges as opportunities, especially when you're stuck in the middle of them. I've had moments where setbacks felt like roadblocks, when obstacles seemed too overwhelming to overcome. I used to dread those moments, wishing for things to just get easier. But when I began to understand the Stoic approach, I realized something profound. The challenges I was facing weren't just random misfortunes. They were training grounds for my mind. They were the very things that could build me into a stronger, more resilient person. Think about it this way. When you go to the gym to build muscle, you don't start with easy exercises. You don't pick up the lightest weights and expect results. No, you push yourself with heavier weights, with more intense exercises, because that's how you grow stronger. It's the same with mental resilience. The challenges you face are your mental weight, and the more you push through them, the stronger your mind becomes. Whether it's a difficult conversation, a setback in your plans, or an unexpected disappointment, each of these obstacles is an opportunity for growth. They give you a chance to practice patience, to sharpen your problem-solving skills, and to reinforce your emotional endurance. The shift happens when you stop seeing these challenges as problems that need to be avoided or fixed. Instead, you start treating them like workouts for your mind. The more you face adversity head-on, the more you train yourself to handle even bigger challenges in the future. You start to build the kind of mental toughness that allows you to remain calm under pressure, to find solutions when things seem impossible, and to keep moving forward even when the path ahead seems unclear. I'll admit, it wasn't always easy for me to embrace this mindset. It took time, and a lot of uncomfortable moments, to really shift my perspective. But now, when life throws something difficult my way, I don't shy away from it. I lean into it. I treat it as an opportunity to strengthen my mind, to test my limits, and to prove to myself that I can handle whatever comes my way. And over time, this practice has given me the confidence to face each new day with a sense of purpose and strength. I know that no matter what obstacles arise, I am equipped to handle them. This mindset shifts the way you approach life entirely. Instead of seeing challenges as threats or burdens, you see them as opportunities for growth. And when you start treating each challenge as mental training, you develop a sense of inner confidence that no setback can shake. Every obstacle becomes a stepping stone on your journey to becoming the strongest, most resilient version of yourself. Life's challenges are no longer something to fear. They're the very things that will help you grow, evolve, and thrive. We all face pain, whether it's rejection, failure, or disappointment. It's a universal part of life. There's no escaping it. At some point, we all find ourselves knocked down, feeling like the weight of the world is on our shoulders. It might be a relationship that ended, a goal that slips through our fingers, or a dream that shattered into 1,000 pieces. But here's the reality. Pain is not permanent. It doesn't define you, and it doesn't last forever. In fact, it's through pain that we often experience the greatest growth. I've had my share of painful moments that felt like they would break me. But looking back, those moments were the ones that shaped me into who I am today. Instead of dwelling on the hurt, instead of letting the pain consume you, I've learned to shift my mindset. I've learned to ask myself, what can I learn from this? Pain, if we let it, can be the greatest teacher. Every setback, every failure, is an opportunity to build resilience. I remember a time in my life when I felt like I was constantly failing. I'd put my heart into something, only to watch it fall apart. At first, I took it personally. I blamed myself. I questioned my worth. But then, something clicked. I realized that every failure, every rejection, was a lesson in disguise. I wasn't failing. I was learning. I wasn't being punished. I was being shaped. This shift in perspective doesn't come easily, though it's something I've had to work on constantly. When you're in the middle of pain, it's hard to see the bigger picture. But when you take a step back, when you allow yourself to breathe and reflect, you start to realize that pain is temporary. It might feel overwhelming in the moment, but it will pass. The trick is to not let that pain define you. Use it as fuel to move forward. Embrace it, face it head on, and grow from it. The next time you face pain, pause. Don't react in anger or frustration. Don't let yourself get lost in negative thoughts. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience make me stronger? Pain, while uncomfortable, is a powerful tool for growth. It forces us to dig deeper, to question our assumptions, and to stretch beyond our limits. When we approach pain with this mindset, we stop seeing it as something to avoid and start seeing it as an opportunity to evolve. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from stepping outside of our comfort zones, from facing discomfort, from pushing through the hard times. And the beautiful thing is that the lessons we learn from pain are lasting. While the pain itself may fade, the strength, wisdom, and resilience we gain from it stay with us forever. Those lessons are etched into who we are, and they become the foundation for everything we do moving forward. Pain is temporary, but the lessons you learn from it last forever. So, the next time you find yourself facing something painful, remember, this is your moment to grow, to learn, and to become stronger than you ever thought possible. Let the pain fuel your progress, not your regret, because the greatest growth comes from facing discomfort head on. Discipline is often misunderstood. Many view it as something restrictive, like a set of chains holding you down. People think of it as a rigid routine, a constant battle against their desires and impulses. But in reality, discipline is the foundation of freedom. The more disciplined you are, the more freedom you have. Freedom to make choices that align with your values. Freedom to take control of your life and direct it where you want it to go. Without discipline, you're at the mercy of every passing impulse, every distraction, and every obstacle that comes your way. I've learned this firsthand, and I'll be honest, embracing discipline wasn't easy at first. There were times when I thought it was just too much. Waking up early, sticking to a routine, saying no to short-term pleasures for long-term gain. It all felt like too much. But I realized that every time I chose discipline over distraction, I felt a sense of control that I hadn't known before. It was like I had taken the reins of my own life. And that gave me a power that I can't even put into words. Whether it's sticking to a workout routine, reading every day, or staying focused on your long-term goals, discipline is the key to making it happen. It's not about punishing yourself or living in a state of deprivation. It's about understanding that the small, consistent actions you take every day create the foundation for the life you want to build. I've seen this transformation in my own life. When I decided to stick to a workout routine, I didn't just get stronger physically, I got stronger mentally. Every time I resisted the urge to procrastinate or skip a session, I built more confidence in myself. That's what discipline gives you. A sense of accomplishment, of pride in your ability to stay true to your commitments. But here's the thing. Discipline isn't about being rigid or inflexible. It's not about a life of constant self-control that leaves no room for spontaneity or enjoyment. It's about staying true to your values and building a life of purpose. For me, discipline isn't about forcing myself to do things I hate. It's about aligning my actions with my goals, with what truly matters to me. When I stay disciplined in areas like health, career, and personal growth, I'm creating a life that reflects my deepest values. And that, to me, is freedom. I used to think that the more I disciplined myself, the more restricted I'd feel. But the opposite has been true. The more disciplined I've become, the more free I've felt to pursue what I truly want. Discipline doesn't confine you, it liberates you. It gives you the freedom to make intentional decisions, to focus on what's important, and to let go of the distractions that pull you away from your purpose. So, if you want to create the life you desire, start by embracing discipline. It's not about denying yourself pleasure or living by a strict set of rules. It's about finding the balance that allows you to live in alignment with your goals and values. Discipline gives you the tools to make lasting change, and when you begin to master it, you'll find that the life you've always dreamed of is within your reach. Words are easy, but actions speak louder. We've all been in situations where someone talks a big game, promises change, speaks about doing the right thing, or tells you exactly what you want to hear. But how often do those words actually translate into action? It's easy to get caught up in the idea of saying the right things, of convincing others that we're the person we want to be. But Stoicism teaches us that true leadership doesn't come from talking about what you believe, it comes from living it. The true measure of a person is how they live, not what they say. I've seen it in myself. There was a time when I would get caught up in the words, the motivation, the affirmations, the constant talk about how I was going to change things. I would promise myself I would be more patient, kinder, more dedicated to my goals. But somehow, those words didn't always translate into the actions that would actually bring change. I realized that the gap between what I said and what I did was exactly what held me back. And that's when I understood that if I truly wanted to lead a meaningful life, I had to embody the values I spoke about, whether it's showing kindness in small moments, practicing integrity when no one is looking, or being patient even when everything in life seems to be moving at a fast pace. These are the actions that define who we really are. It's easy to preach patience, but it's something entirely different to stay calm and composed when life throws chaos at you. It's easy to talk about honesty, but it's much harder to be honest when the truth might hurt. Yet, when we practice these values in our everyday lives, we become living testaments to the philosophies we believe in. I've learned that people don't remember what you say as much as they remember what you do. Actions leave a mark that words can never erase. The people you influence, whether consciously or not, are watching the way you live, your behavior, your integrity, your resilience in the face of adversity. Those are the things that truly inspire others. When you lead by example, you show others that it's possible to live with purpose, to align your actions with your values. You become a role model, not because you talk about it, but because you actually do it. And in a world full of talkers, those who embody their words stand out. So, if you want to make an impact, if you want to inspire others, stop waiting for the perfect moment to speak up and start living your values. Show kindness without expecting anything in return. Be honest even when it's uncomfortable, and take action toward your goals every single day. Led by example, because at the end of the day, people don't remember what you said. They remember how you made them feel, how you acted, and how you inspired them to be better by simply being yourself. How often do you put things off because you're waiting for the perfect moment? I've done it more times than I can count. We all have that mental checklist. The conditions have to be just right before we take the first step. We wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect plan, the perfect timing. But here's the hard truth. Perfection is a trap. It's an illusion that keeps us stuck in the cycle of procrastination. We tell ourselves, I'll start when everything is perfect, and then nothing ever happens. The idea of perfection paralyzes us, and before we know it, months or years have passed, and we're still in the same place we started. I've learned this lesson the hard way. There was a time when I wanted everything to be flawless before I made a move. I was waiting for the right moment to write a book, to launch my business, to make a change in my life. I kept telling myself, once I have everything in place, I'll go for it. But that moment never came. I kept waiting, and the opportunity kept slipping through my fingers. The truth is, we don't need perfection to make progress. We need action. Progress is what matters. You can't build anything without taking that first step, and you can't learn without stumbling along the way. Start messy, start small, but start. Don't wait until everything is perfect, because it never will be. I look back now and realize that all the best things in my life didn't come from waiting for the perfect conditions. They came from taking imperfect action. The first draft of my book was a mess, but I wrote it. The first version of my business plan was full of gaps, but I took the leap. It wasn't perfect, and I didn't have all the answers, but I kept moving forward, and that's where the magic happened. Each step, no matter how small, was a victory. Every misstep taught me something valuable. Every failure pointed me in the right direction. Perfectionism will hold you back. The fear of starting imperfectly will keep you stuck. But when you embrace the mess, when you take action even when it feels uncomfortable, that's when you begin to make real progress. The process is where the growth happens. It's in the trial and error, the learning, the tweaking, and the refining that we find success. If you wait for the perfect moment, you'll never get anywhere, but if you take that first imperfect step, you'll start to build momentum, and before you know it, you'll have accomplished something you once thought was impossible. So, stop waiting for the perfect moment. Start messy, start small, and just keep going. It's the only way forward. And it's the only way to make meaningful progress in your life. Every small step counts, and it will take you further than you think. By integrating these Stoic meditations into your morning routine, you'll train your mind to approach each day with clarity, strength, and purpose. I can't stress enough how transformative this practice has been for me personally. When I started embracing Stoic principles, everything shifted. I stopped waking up to the chaos of the world, scrambling to get through the day, overwhelmed by the endless list of things I thought I had to do. Instead, I learned to start each morning grounded, with a sense of intention and control. The truth is, life isn't always going to go according to plan. The world doesn't bend to our will, and we can't control everything around us. But what Stoicism teaches us is that while we can't control the world, we can always control how we face it. We have the power to choose our reactions, our mindset, and the way we move through each challenge. And that right there is true freedom. When you start each day with this mindset, by practicing Stoic meditation, focusing on what you can control, and letting go of the things that don't serve you, you begin to change the way you live. You'll find yourself less affected by external circumstances, more resilient in the face of adversity, and more aligned with your true values. Over time, this practice doesn't just shape your mornings, it transforms your entire life. I'm speaking from experience here. It wasn't always easy for me. I struggled with overthinking, with reacting impulsively to life's challenges. But as I began to integrate these Stoic meditations into my routine, I found myself more focused, more intentional, and less bogged down by things that didn't matter. It was like waking up from a fog and suddenly seeing everything more clearly. It's about taking control of your mind, your thoughts, and your actions. So, I encourage you to start today. Don't wait for the perfect moment or some grand sign to get started. The time is now. Live intentionally. Focus on what you can control, your attitude, your effort, and your choices. Let go of the things that drain your energy, the things that hold you back, and the things that don't serve your greater purpose. Life is too short to let distractions control your path. If you found these Stoic meditations helpful, I invite you to take the next step in your journey. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. By doing so, you're not just supporting this community. You're joining a group of like-minded individuals who are committed to living with strength, purpose, and clarity. Together, we can build a community that thrives on these principles and continues to push each other toward living our best lives. So, start today, and let's embrace this journey of growth and self-mastery together.